Yeah.
And we're here.
We're here.
Oh, my heavens. It is the Stay of Homekins podcast.
That's right. Beautiful song.
Thank you.
Here's the problem I'm having right now is that I saw somebody quote, all right, I'm going to be, I don't want to blow up their spot, but my friend River Butcher, he quoted an Aerosmith song in an Instagram story.
No, don't sing it.
And the song was Living on the Edge.
But
Somehow that put the song Love in an Elevator in my head.
Yeah, okay. We got to not sing that right now.
I don't want it in there. It annoys me.
Wait, you know this song that we have been listening to? Well, first of all, before I get into that, the song that we have been listening to on repeat. Mm-hmm. Before I get into that, if
before
you are
get
new,
into the song
that we have been listening to.
So this is new business.
Yeah, before we get into the new business, if you're new to the Stay of Homekins podcast, this is it.
Yeah. What are you doing here?
I just feel like we might have some new people because, we joined Substack and, some new people have subscribed and I'm like, this thing's going to drop through the Substack drops.
Shout out to the Substack community.
And they're going to be like, what is this thing all about? Anyway, I'm Janie Tompkins.
I'm Paul F. Tompkins.
I'm an actress.
I'm a comedian.
We are a married couple living in Los Angeles with recording equipment.
And this is our after dinner podcast.
It's just conversation, guys.
That's all it is for two people that live in the same house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what? It gets crazy up in this
Our lives are insane.
The song we've been listening to on repeat because I made you watch the CMT Awards.
You didn't make me. This is a tradition that we have in this household.
It is.
We are a country music award show household.
But here was the thing.
We should get one of those signs. In this house, we watch country music awards.
We
and that's
did
the whole
it.
thing.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
because
we
did one in the beginning of the podcast where we had the
it's
whole.
It's almost like an eye chart
and
where
then Kinship
the
Goods
font is so big at the top and then it gets really small.
Okay, so basically, well, when I say I made you, it was sort of like I didn't know you were ready because like you walked in the door and I had it like on pause.
Yes.
Like ready to go.
Yeah.
So you like walked in the door and I'm like, we're going to watch this right now.
I know the drill.
I kind of like didn't know it was happening because someone sent me a post about Carrie Underwood's legs.
Carrie Underworld. The scariest country music star.
Oh my God.
Carrie Underworld.
About her legs on the red carpet. So
what
I got
about them?
They were like real aggressively muscular.
She was showing them off? Mm-hmm. Like I don't skip leg day. Check it out.
That's what people were commenting.
Yes, they love to comment things like that.
Okay, so I was like, oh my God, I missed this. And so I like went... I like went and found it, and then you walked in the door, and I'm like, we're gonna watch this right now. And then, what is so funny about it though? A couple of things. Mm-hmm. This is not what I thought we were gonna get into on the podcast, but now that we're talking about it,
interesting that you have a secret agenda that I didn't know about.
Well, we've had an eventful month because of the HVAC and all. Whatever. Anyway,
yes.
We were gonna watch it, and I started reading all the comments, and people were so pissed because the CMT Awards apparently went woke.
Right.
And so there were all these people like, it was fine until all that woke stuff. And then people were like, what? First of all, what is woke?
Yeah, exactly.
And number two, like, what was woke? Like, it's about the music for me. I don't know what you're watching it for or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, like now I really, really want to watch this because like people were so mad. And I'm like, I got to find out what it was that got them so jammed up about it being so woke.
Yeah.
And it literally opened because there was a horrific school shooting of 9-year-olds in Nashville, like right before this award ceremony. And it literally just opened with like a plea for like peace.
Yeah.
Someone crying and talking about violence and like we need to
do something. Yeah.
And I was
woke.
like, what the fuck? Like
so woke. Just leave things as they are.
like,
They're great.
I was like literally crying in the first 5 seconds of the thing when Kelsey Ballerini was like, I grew up and I witnessed a shooting at my own school because she's like a millennial. And I was like, oh my God, like we're at this place now where people have kids going to school when they had the same issue when they were in school, because our generation, you and me, like we're out of school before Columbine. And then, and I was like, wow, like that was what was so woke. I was so mad. Anyway, so then I was like, well, I'm going to get into the music. But my whole point was when you were saying there was a song in your head, because the song that has been on repeat in our house and what has been in my head.
Before you say that.
Oh, you don't want to say what the song is.
I just want to. No, I do. But I'm saying,
because I'm like, are you going to cover? Because I want you to cover it. I really want you to cover it.
It's on my list for sure.
Okay.
But the other woke stuff was somebody sang a song. There were a couple drag queens in the background.
Kelsey Ballerini had an act where she was like real cute and retro, and they had like these like cute and retro drag queens behind her. Oh no, but there was another.
They talked about women.
The other thing,
women being visible in country music.
Then they also Megan Thee Stallion introduced Shania Twain for her award, and Shania Twain said the word inclusivity.
Yeah.
And so I guess that was pretty
ruined the award show for me.
Then they like did a tribute to Leonard Skinner at the end. So I was like,
that balances things out.
I mean, like Leonard Skinner's fine. Leonard Skinner's fine.
They're fine.
It's a Southern rock.
They're fine. But you know what's funny about them?
Yeah.
I don't know if funny is the right word.
All of a sudden, someone in their band died, and they honored that person.
Yeah,
Okay, go on.
Look, people die, even people in bands. So that song contains the lyric. I hope Neil Young will remember, Southern Man, don't need him around now anyhow.
Yeah.
In response to Neil Young's song, Southern Man.
Yes.
Which was about racism.
Oh, is that what that was all about?
Yeah.
But
that song is a socially conscious song, and then they came back with, you know what? Fuck you, Neil Young. We love Alabama.
I mean, that is like so mild compared to like what gets thrown around today. I thought it was about something more specific than that. Like a specific, it was like a
specific Southern man?
No, I knew it was about Neil Young and the song Southern Man. I don't know. I feel like
Southern
someone
Man
like apologized.
Southern Man, better keep your head. Don't forget what your good book said. Southern change going to come at last. Now your crosses are burning fast, Southern Man.
Wait, that's the Neil Young song?
Yes.
Oh, he's like, stop burning crosses and being hypocrites.
I heard screaming and bullwhips cracking.
Yes, but you need to now look at what Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner was just like, Alabama, we love it. Sweet home Alabama. I hope Neil Young will remember, we don't need you around now anyhow.
Okay, whatever. Listen, I'm all about the music. I'm all about the music.
That's right. You love Richard Wagner.
I don't know. Oh, is that what Nazis liked?
Yeah. And he was like a big anti-Semite.
No, I mean, if they did because they do like these mashups in country music, I think it would be funny. They don't do like a Wagner. They've never done like a Wagner.
I feel like that would be a real message if they did that. If the CMT.
I don't know any Wagner.
Now there's a tribute to Richard Wagner.
You know what? That would actually be funny. Well, first of all, I don't know any Wagner. Like
Flight of the Valkyries. Oh, is
that from like the Bugs Bunny cartoons and stuff?
Yeah, he wrote it for the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
But was that like trying to be like pro-Nazi?
Well, all that mythology is very like the Nazi movement and the neo-Nazi movement. They're very steeped in like Norse mythology and,
Well, they also did you know that they also studied the civil rights of America to be more like Americans that hate black people?
Yes.
Like Hitler, specifically like studied. Mm-hmm. Like maybe he was ripping off some Skinnerd in his bunker or whatever. I'm not in his
Hitler
bunker.
ripped off Skinner.
No, in Argentina, because it would have been later.
Yeah, exactly. When he was chilling in Argentina.
When he was in Argentina, he'd go to like the bars, and they would be like, everyone would be like, "Free bird," you know how everyone yells "Free bird."
In Argentina,
and
people love Free Bird. Yes.
And he'd be like, "Sweet Home Alabama,"
Yeah.
or whatever. But then Sweet Home.
Between cloning sessions.
Right.
He would be like, I need a break. Can I please go to a country bar here in Argentina?
Okay, so my point is, we're watching. So we're watching it. Oh, and then Krista, my friend Krista, the other night, literally, I didn't tell you this. She texted me, and she got
an exclusive
because I was on my way to meet Catherine. Mm-hmm. We were having like our little happy hour meetup.
Yes,
and Krista was like, "Is it worth it for me to watch? Is it worth it to watch the CMT Awards?" And so I was like,
people turn to you for this kind of advice now.
Yes. And so I was like, here's what you need to do. Just like scrub.
All right, are you listening? Here's how you watch the CMTs.
I was like, you got to scrub through. I was like, you got to watch Winona Judd and Ashley McBride sing their duet. Yeah. You got to watch Megan Thee Stallion introduce Shania. You got to watch, there's like an Alanis tribute. I was like, I think you'd like that Kelsey Ballerini number because it's cute with the drag queens. And then I was like, definitely watch. I like Darius. Darius
Rucker, yeah.
Darius Rucker and
Chris Robinson.
I was like, you gotta watch Lainey Wilson because I love Lainey Wilson. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, the Skinner tribute. And then there was like a couple other things. I don't know. I was like telling her what to scrub past and watch. Mm-hmm. And then she said, you're like the Zagats of country award. And then I said, now I'm getting to what also she had to watch, which is why we were playing it on repeat.
Yes, we saw this guy. We'd never seen him before, which is funny because we watched these shows.
Well, he's like major apparently in the industry.
I know, but we watch these shows. There's a bunch of country music award shows. We watch them all, and so we get to know people through those shows.
And he's memorable because
he's very memorable
because he's like got tattoos all over his face.
Yes, he's a big man with a lot of tattoos, a lot of ink, and his name is Jelly Roll.
So Jelly Roll he's up for like a lot of awards. And in my mind, I'm like, I bet I'm not going to be into his music because just like I was profiling him.
Yeah.
You know, because there's like a lot of bro-y.
Who's this guy? Fence Post Malone? Oh! Fucking did it!
I was like,
Hitchin' Post Malone.
Hitchin' Post Malone.
Hitchin'
Good
Post
punch
Malone.
up. Good punch up.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
And so, so then he comes out to do his song, I Need a Favor. Yeah. And he has like this huge gospel choir come out and they're all fucking dancing and like losing their minds. And he's like doing this whole thing. And I was like, that song, in the words of Paul F. Tompkins, whips ass.
That's right. Yeah.
I was like, wow, that fucking song whips ass.
It was great.
And so then
we could not have been more arms folded, like, okay, Jelly Roll, let's see what you got.
Yeah, and then he came and he like, and then
Jelly Roll schooled us.
I will say, like, if Krista had like watched the whole thing, she could, like, I might have been like, you should watch some of his acceptance speeches because he's like, I'm fitting to go, like, get fucked up downtown. Yeah. I'm going to get loaded.
We're going to close 6th Street tonight.
Yeah, and and it was like hilarious. And I was like, oh my God, this guy is wild. Like, what is his deal? Yeah. And then he was like thanking his wife, and she was like a situation. Mm-hmm. Like, she was like a real sex bomb, sex pot, nails and the hair and everything. And I was like, well, what is all this about? And so, like, I go look him up. He's an ex-con, and his wife is an ex-sex worker turned podcast mogul. Mm-hmm. Named Bunny. So she has like some good million.
Miss Bunny? Or he called her Miss Bunny?
No, that's her name.
She goes by Miss Bunny?
Well, she has like, in her podcast is like is like Miss Bunny something. Right. Which is like funny that I'm saying this because I bet everyone is like, duh, like her, like she's like a Joe Rogan level. Like popularity, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think she's probably like, yes. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, these people are wild. And like, so we started going down this rabbit hole of all of his like
bunny hole.
a bunny hole of
bunny hole.
all of his videos. And the one video that won, I think it was the one video that won, was a pretty fucking good video, I have to say.
It was a great video.
Where the bar, the son of a sinner video. And so we've been playing I Need a Favor on repeat all week. And every time I'm walking around, I'm like, God, I need a favor.
It's a really good song. And it's a really good country song. Like,
yeah, it's a good country song.
Thematically, it's like kind of outlaw country, vibe.
And by the way, he just dropped a new album because I had signed up for his alerts and I haven't even listened to his new. I think like one of those songs is from the new album because they pre-released a couple, Yeah. So that was like one that I was like getting into, but then I was trying to listen to some of his other work and it's some of it's hip hop though. Some of his songs are hip hop.
Interesting.
Because there is like a big country hip hop crossover thing going on right now. Oh my God, Cuckoo!
Hi, Cuckoo. How are you?
Some of we chatted with our Substack subscribers right before we started recording, and someone said say hi to Cuckoo. So hi, Cuckoo.
The gang says hi.
So hi, Cuckoo.
Jelly Roll's wife's name is Bunny XO.
Yeah, Bunny XO
like
is
kiss
her.
And hug.
Yeah,
and she spells it Bunnie. How do you like that? How do you like that? They've been married since 2016.
Yeah, and they have like a whole like love story. Like I went down like this whole rabbit hole. Like she like I want to say I know I'm messing this up, but like they met. He was like living in like a van or something, and then she was a sex worker, and then she was like, I'm giving up sex working tonight because like they fell in love and got married. Like I want to say like in Vegas, like. I'm messing this up. It was wild. Like I was reading the whole thing and I was like, this is the wildest thing. He had like a kid from another relationship. Bunny ended up like mothering his child. Yeah. And then they have a child also together. So they're like this cute, like blended family / country music star, like family. Yeah. Which is not, which when stuff like that in country music it goes down, like it's so exciting, like that real life people get to. That's why I kind of think country music can be fun and not so packaged commercially. Yeah, because like he just doesn't look like your typical. He just doesn't look like your typical like country, poster dude or whatever. But
their story is very much like a country movie.
100%
about country music.
People. Oh, like 100%. Like someone should do like their story.
Yeah. But listen, check out.
I Need a Favor.
I Need a Favor by Jelly Roll. It's a really
better
good
than
song.
Singing Love or the Elevate. What were you singing?
Why did you bring it back up?
Anyway, I did appreciate. There were some good moments on the awards though.
Yeah, I mean they usually are. Yeah, I also think you can skip the Skinner tribute.
I liked the Skinner tribute. That was really good. With like Winona Judd and Leanne Rimes were like singing the female vocal back, and they were like fucking going to town.
Yeah, it was fine.
I liked it. I like Southern rock more than you do, though.
You probably do.
No, I know I do.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I like kind of know. Although what is kind of weird though is. You do like the band, which I like the band.
Yeah, I do like the band.
I like the band a lot, and I feel like the band has a lot of like
a lot of country influence.
Like a southern rock vibe to it. But I don't know if you're like into the Allman Brothers and stuff.
I mean, just the famous songs. I think I like them. What are their big songs again?
Oh my God,
Ramblin' Man, is that them? Lord, I was born a rambling man.
You know what's so funny is I always think they sing this one song that they don't sing.
Which one?
Amy.
Yes, that's Little River Band, right?
That's not Little River Band. Little River Band is Lady. Because I'm always thinking I need to have a karaoke song one day. Because as a non-singer person, and I'm always like, I think I'm going to do Little River Band. Like, in the back of my mind, I'm like...
Pure Prairie League.
Prairie League.
I was sort of close in a way.
Yeah. No, because Little River Band
I
is...
was sort of close.
Okay, all right.
Come on. You're not going to give me that one? Pure Prairie League, Little River Band, Three Dog Night.
I'm like
Two Doors Down.
I'm like seriously blanking on almond. Like
Wait,
there's like
hold on a
something
second.
with
Hold on, hold on.
a peach on the album cut, like a peach,
On
and
the
I'm
Allman
like,
Brothers?
yeah.
Oh, wait. Is it Two Doors Down or Three Doors Down?
I don't know what that is.
That's a band.
I have never heard of them.
I can't
before.
remember if it's two or
I've
Three
never
Doors
heard
Down.
of them. What do
Looking
they
up a lot of
sing?
stuff tonight.
What do they sing?
They were like
I'm
90s
blanking. I'm
people.
drinking a little wine tonight, which is not my normal. I'm real tired.
It was. No, there's a Dolly Parton song called Two Doors Down.
Wait. Now I'm thinking of like Skinner, like. Give me two steps. Give me 3 steps. Give me. Oh wait, they didn't sing that in the medley. Why didn't they sing "Give Me 3 Steps" or "Ooh That Smell"?
Three Doors Down.
Okay, what do they sing though?
Who knows? Kryptonite. Does that ring a bell?
No, give me a
That
tune.
was their big hit. I honestly do not know how it goes. I know I've heard the name of the song. I've probably heard the song, but I could not tell you any more than that.
Okay.
I cannot store them in my brain. I just can't.
No, my brain has reached maximum capacity.
Yes, I have to delete some files.
Or someone needs to pay for more storage.
Yeah, I got to upgrade.
Yeah, upgrade the cloud service
To a
of my
terabyte.
brain.
Oh, I hiccuped.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you fear?
Like you fear? Do you do fear like I do? It's the second time that song's come up on our podcast.
Wait, who sings that one? That guy.
Peter Frampton?
I like Peter Frampton.
Sure you do.
See? That's, first of all, that was derisive the way. I did not like.
Oh, you're a big Peter Frampton fan? Name 5 of his songs.
Hello. Show me,
That's
baby.
Lionel Richie.
Show me the way. Show me the way.
That's right.
I want you.
By the way, I can't name 5 songs by Peter Frampton.
There's only the 2, really.
What's the one where he makes the guitar talk? He has the weird device where he talks and it comes through the guitar.
What?
It's like a famous thing.
It is?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's not familiar to you at all?
Is that it? I really want to know. So, what, now? All right, I couldn't think of the Little River Band. It was like, lady, let me take a look at you now.
Yeah, that's right.
You're there on the dance floor, making me want you somehow. All right, wait.
Talk about derisive. That song is a real backhanded compliment festival.
I love that song. Don't be thinking that I don't want you, 'cause baby, I do. Wait, where were we going? Peter Frampton before that.
How far back? Jelly Roll?
No, not that far back.
Allman Brothers. We were trying to think of Allman Brothers songs.
I think that's where we were going, but there was something else after that. But yeah.
Universal Health Care.
I know what I was gonna. I was gonna ask you a major question.
Ooh, okay.
Do you
Okay, now I remember. Fear.
Me hitting my elbow on that chair.
I do fear that, and I can't believe my fear came true.
Do you fear AI?
A little bit. Yeah, I do.
What is your fear of it?
My fear is that it absolutely, which it seemed ridiculous before to me, but now I am starting to realize, oh, this could become like a thing in a movie where the AI starts calling the shots because it learns and it adapts too much.
Okay.
And then we can't.
But is it the AI that we fear, or is it the degradation of society that we fear from overuse of AI? I mean, like AI, like brainwashing people. You know what I'm saying? Because we saw like during the pandemic when people got into like QAnon and all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Like the AI could learn all that.
Yeah.
And then it becomes indiscernible or indiscernible, I guess is the word I'm thinking of. Indiscernible from what's real and what's not. Right?
Well,
like
I don't think we need AI for that because people are already doing that.
But like,
deep fakes are scary, but that's all. But that doesn't make me afraid of AI. That makes me afraid of people. What makes me afraid of AI is AI becoming more and more aware, based on a program that it continues to adapt, and then starts to control things.
See, I don't think I understand that. I don't understand that side of things.
It's like somebody who I know just the sketchiest details of the story, but this guy programmed this AI to have conversations, and then it fell in love with his wife.
What the fuck? What are you talking about? AI?
Or it hated his wife, it fell in love with him, and it was like, I want you to leave your wife, I'm in love with you.
Can't you just...
It was something like that.
Can't you just go, like, unplug the computer and go touch grass or something? Or, like, what?
Well, I mean...
Why are we, like, beholden to a technology, right? We can always,
because we've made ourselves beholden to technology. And the more technology we make ourselves beholden to, the more we want things to be... you speak aloud and a thing happens. The more we want that kind of convenience in everything,
right?
The more we're allowing these things to have dominance.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
It's like I used to, all those movies, even like Megan or whatever.
Yeah.
All those movies the premise is great because it is scary. It's like, what if suddenly this thing decides that you are a threat or you are an enemy.
Right.
And it has the ability to, on a small scale, maybe it locks you out of your house. You can't get into your house.
Okay.
On a large scale, maybe it like erases you from whatever
or like
databanks
pulls
you're in.
The plug on your dying loved one.
Something like that,
to have you alone with it.
Yeah.
Ew. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about any. I'm so tired of having to think about technology. It's not like I love technology. That's what's so funny is like I'm like usually a pretty early adopter on things.
Yeah.
For a layman, like I'm not. You know what I mean? Like I'm not super early, or I'd have stock in Amazon or whatever. Would be sitting here doing this podcast and trying to get people to subscribe to the Weekend Water Substack or whatever. I would have like share of Apple. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess this is what we think and talk about now for the rest of our fucking lives.
Well,
really.
Look how much it dominates our lives already with our phones, and not just, I'm not even talking about just scrolling. Like, we're obsessed with updates. We're obsessed with what the phones can do now. When things don't work, it like really affects your day. You know, when you're trying to, you can't connect the speakers to the TV or whatever because of the Wi-Fi is intermittent.
It's so funny. Like in the early, like right when you and I first met, people started using GPS, like and getting those Garmin's.
Yeah.
My dad got me a Garmin, and I was like. I was mad about it at first because I was like, I'm not going to know how to get around if I rely on this this tool.
Which is kind of how it is for me a little bit because
I'm GPS.
Even places that I go to like multiple times a month.
I always type it in.
I always type it in.
I want to know the amount of time it's going to take me to get there, if there's traffic, if I need to turn left. This is my little LA thing, guys. This is very LA specific. But I don't like to drive on the freeways. It's stressful to me, just in general. Like I find the freeways. Well,
you feel that way just because it absolutely is stressful.
It's stressful, but it's also like when I think I can create a driving experience for myself that is a little less like frenzied or harried if I can do surface streets, like, and I can play podcasts or make a phone call or something like that.
And it honestly only adds maybe 5 extra minutes.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like whenever I go anywhere now, if it was like an east side to west side to east side thing, like obviously it, depending on if it's rush hour, because if it's rush hour, surface street and like freeway is almost the same diff, but you just have to. So my whole thing in LA, this is so boring to anyone who does not live in LA. This is so boring. But like, I am always testing a route, surface street versus freeway, always before I go. And if it's only like a 5 or 7 minute difference, I go on the surface streets. Yeah. Just because I don't want to have to think about the drive. While I'm driving.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so like now I'm like Google Maps is one of my favorite apps. Like I play with it when I'm not.
I love Google. What? Was I sitting around the house?
Yeah, like I will often, like if I see a place I want to go, like I will, like if I read about a new restaurant I want to try or, I hear this or that or whatever, like I always go on Google Maps and I put like a tag on it as a want to go. So I have like a bunch of green tags, like all kinds of different places as like a want to go.
You were trying to get a chat started on Google Maps.
There is no chat on
Anybody
there.
else here?
Is there?
No.
Oh my God.
What if there was? What if you found other people like you?
I've also built maps for people when people are like, oh, I'm visiting Charleston, South Carolina for the first time. Is there anywhere I should go? And then like I will build a map where I'm like, I've eaten here, but I haven't eaten here, but I heard it was good. Yeah. And then someone sent me a bunch of recommendations for New York recently, and they just sent a list. Yeah. And I went and built my own map. And then I shared that map with some friends that we saw the other night. Yeah. And they actually went to one of the spots on it. Yeah.
That's right.
So like I'm like a bit like it's so funny that I was like anti-GPS and now I'm like the biggest like if the map is broken when I come out of a place, I'm so screwed. Like I don't know how to get anywhere. Yeah. I hate that.
AI.
But there used to be like a time when you kind of like remembered where you turned.
I know. I wish
so that you could turn the opposite way when you go back.
I wish that somebody would just take it all away from me, so I wouldn't have to have the willpower to not rely on things anymore. Like if someone said, "Oh, nobody can have phones anymore. We found something." Found something in there. It's bad news, guys. No, throw your phone away. We gotta get rid of all the phones.
There are people like that.
There are people like that, but I'm not one of them.
No.
And, I don't know. Like all the shit that we rely on.
There are a lot of people.
I wish we weren't so reliant on it to where it affects how I feel. It affects my mood.
I don't even carry a wallet half the time. Like I use like my smartphone to pay for stuff.
Your driver's license.
Okay, well, I'll stash the lace. If I'm walking, a lot of times I'm not driving. Like I'm walking.
Okay, but if you're driving, I hope you
like today I walked. And I didn't take a wallet. I just took my phone and I bought a sandwich and I just used my phone to buy a sandwich.
But she didn't have a wallet on her, so no one knew who she was for days. All right, we have to take a break. We have to take a break and then I'll tell you more stuff.
Are you sure it's time?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We'll be right back after these brief messages.
Wait. Yes. Oop.
This episode of Stay of Homekins is sponsored by BetterHelp. A BetterHelp. A BetterHelp. They put the therapy back in your brain. All right. BetterHelp is a wonderful tool that can connect you with a therapist. So I personally have benefited from therapy. So has Paul. So we can speak confidently that it can be a very positive force in one's life. So when you're at your best, you can do great things, and sometimes life gets overwhelming. I'll say. We were just talking about all that with the AI and whatnot. So working with a therapist, it can help you get closer to the best version of you. It is one piece of that puzzle, because if you feel empowered, you're more prepared to take on everything life throws at you. And let's face it, connection is everything. You need to build a strong support system for yourself. That is what you can do as an adult to enhance your life. is a judgment, but I'm just saying. So if you're thinking of giving therapy a try or returning to therapy, you can try BetterHelp. It is a great option. It's convenient. It's flexible. It's affordable and entirely online. And it is an investment in your good mental health. So you can fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. That's very important. You need to find the right match for you. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/homekins today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/homekins.
Lomi turns your food waste into dirt. Thank you, Elton John, for that beautiful song that you rewrote in honor of this ad. Hey, I want to talk to you about Lomi by Pila. Look, composting. Never been able to do it. I lacked the will and discipline. Am I ashamed of it? Yes, I am. I'm ashamed of myself every day for various reasons, but this one shot to the top of the list. So much garbage. Food waste, eggshells, coffee grounds, banana peels? I mean, what is this, a cartoon? I feel like I'm not doing my part to help out the environment because guess what? I wasn't doing it. But then guess what? Two guesses. Two things you have to guess, and then I immediately tell you what they are. Then I got a Lomi. Lomi allows me to turn my food scraps into dirt with extreme prejudice with just the push of a button. Lomi is a countertop electric composter that turns scraps to dirt in under 4 hours. There's no smell when it runs, and it's really quiet. That's like me. No smell when I run, and I'm really quiet. Thanks to Lomi, I have way less garbage each week. I mean, mental garbage, absolutely a ton. But physical garbage, so much less. Like going from 3 bags to 1. That's a difference of 2 garbage bags. Do you get it now? I'm sorry, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at garbage. Since I got my Lomi, I throw out way less garbage, which means it's not going to landfills and producing methane or methane if you're nasty. Instead, I turn my waste into nutrient-rich dirt that I can feed to my plants. Can I tell you something about these plants? They love nutrients. Oh, my God. They are nuts for nutrients. I tell them that to their leaves. Lomi makes me feel good. I feel great knowing that I'm creating soil instead of creating waste. Finally, I'm a good human being. If you want to start making a positive environmental impact, take 2, Paul. If you want to start making a positive environmental impact, or just make cleanup after dinner that much easier, Lomi is perfect for you. Here's where you go. Head to lomi.com/homekins and use the promo code. I
use
feel
the
like
use the prode.
I feel like, did we say that early on in the early days of this podcast? Did we say prode?
I've never heard it.
Maybe
in my
I
life.
accidentally said it on Spontaneous Nation or
because it
something.
sounds like chode.
Well, why you introduce that into this ad?
I don't know. That's what it sounded like.
Maybe stay out of it for now. So you use the prode Homekins to get $50 off your Lomi. That is $50 off when you head to lomi.com/homekins and use promo code HOMEKINS at checkout. Food waste? It's gross. Let Lomi save you a cold trip out to the garbage can.
Green Chef, Green Chef. We love Green Chef. And guess what? It's a meal kit company.
Mm-hmm.
So, Green Chef, who has been with us since early in the Stay of Homekins journey.
Bless you, Green Chef.
Guess what? You now can choose from 30 plus recipes weekly with the option to mix and match meals from different dietary prefs in the same box.
That's short for preferences.
Without changing your plan. Get everything you need at Green Market. Their one-stop shop for quick breakfasts, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, and more that you can easily add onto your weekly order. And Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well with dinners that work for you, not the other way around.
That's right.
By the way, whenever the Green Chef box comes, I get so excited because they send us these beautiful recipe cards. And
the recipe cards are actually quite nice.
yes, and then they have all of the ingredients that you need in these tiny little sacks. And then if there's like a portion that needs to be frozen, it's got like a little like frozen thing. Do you hear that noise? Sorry. Green Chef is the only meal kit that is both carbon and plastic offset. So yeah, they try to pack it mindfully. I love Green Chef. What do you think, Paul?
I love Green Chef. We have not had one disappointing meal with Green Chef. We've liked every single one.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. It helps us save time. For me, it's about like brain energy.
Brenergy.
So go to greenchef.com/Homekin60.
Sorry, Brainergy.
And use code Homekin60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. That's greenchef.com/Homekin60 and use como code Homekin60 to get 60% off plus free shipping.
Yeah, Green Chef.
Thank you, Green Chef.
Thank you, Green Chef. All right, let me tell you, first of all, isn't it fun that we do the ads together?
I don't know.
Melissa McCarthy and Ben Falcone.
Well, it's funny because you're watching a lot of baseball lately, and
Yep, crack of the bat.
they have like, is it hotels or booking or something.com?
Something like that.
They have some major corporate advertising sponsorship that they are promoting, and I'm like, nothing like our situation. Let's just say.
No, I mean, no disrespect to our sponsors.
We do get a free Green Chef box.
It's true.
A few times.
They gave us a Lomi, absolutely.
Yeah. So, there is that. But my guess is they are being compensated quite largely.
I bet they're not complaining. Complaining. Yeah.
But, we have like a Hollywood power couple vibe going.
I think we do.
We have like a comedy power couple show business vibe.
Yeah.
So
everyone says so.
Yeah. So I'm just like, what's up? Like, what's up, everybody? Where's ours?
What is the most down market travel service that there is that could sponsor us?
I guess those like scooters. Those scooters
Lime
that
scooters?
you rent from the thing. I've never tried one.
I can go from the corner to the middle of the block. Let me tell you where I was
have never
today.
tried. Oh, okay.
So I'm shooting something. I don't know if I can talk about it. I'm probably in the clear, but just to be on the safe side. And
Okay.
it's not, I'm not in a Star Wars movie. I'm not in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, which probably means they want you to talk about it.
But I am. Frankly, they probably don't need me to talk about it. This thing has a built-in audience, and but I had to do stunt rehearsal today because I have a fight scene.
Oh my
in this
heavens!
thing. And let me tell you something. It's been a while since I've had to do anything like this.
I can barely walk to the cans out to the curb. So, I mean, I hear that.
It was more like there was of course there was some physical exertion, but it was much more fight choreography is like choreography.
Yeah, it's like a dance.
You're learning your steps and everything. And
it's very important that you learn them because someone could get hurt.
Absolutely. But here's what's great in modern action stuff.
Yes.
Especially if you're trying to, mimic a style or whatever, you don't have to do it at full speed because they amp it up a little bit in post so it looks cool.
Oh, no way.
You know what I mean? It's very stylized and everything.
That's cool.
So it was very mentally as well as physically taxing because your instinct is to do it when you learn it. You're like, okay, I'm going to do it quickly. We're going to do it quickly.
Oh,
so
right,
me and
right,
the guy that I was fighting.
Right.
And then the stunt guys were like, you don't have to go that fast. You can slow it down. You're going to reset. You don't have to do it all in one go. Because they're not going to film it in one take.
A sequence, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be
It's
like,
gonna be chopped
we
up.
go over here, the camera goes over here with blah, blah, blah. But it was like the worst part was there's one part where I have to go down on one knee and stop the guy from
They're
picking
going to have to
something
give
up.
you a knee pad for that.
They are, but it's not even so much about my knee touching the ground
It's your knee
as
moving.
it is using my knee at all.
Yeah, I got you.
Because then I have to get back up.
Yep.
And it's really funny how, for years hearing people complain about knee issues and hearing old people make jokes and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, I'm there. I can't believe I made it.
I know. And you don't want a knee replacement because those are a bitch.
But you know what?
You think you might need
Everybody's going to get one.
No, that's not true. Not everyone needs a knee. Some people need a hip.
Yeah.
And hip is easier apparently than knee.
The knee
Did you know
thing
that?
is so common now. It's so common.
Yeah, but the recovery's a bit. Well, we have a friend that had one, but I also, because I followed the Murdoch trial.
Wait, how old is this friend that you're talking about? Because I can't think who it is right away. So just tell me like the age.
She's like, I think she's a little older than me. She might be in her 60s now, but she got it in her 50s. I'm sure.
That's the thing. But I think like older people get them. I feel like
the recovery
maybe
is
I'm
painful.
making this up. Is like the recovery is worse if you're younger or something. I don't know, fucking know. What am I basing that on? Because I guess I don't hear old people complain about the recovery so much.
No, the recovery
They're just happy
for
they have
knee
new
is
knees.
apparently quite painful. But when you get on the other side of it, it's so much better if everything goes well and heals nicely than having a bunch of cottage cheese knees or whatever.
When you get the new knee, then you can jump 10 feet in the air.
Yeah. But the best thing to do would probably be just to build some core strength and stay a little limber and try to move around as much as you can.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
And also drop weight. I've been personally putting on.
Do you think I should have done all these things 10 years ago?
Well,
in anticipation of this very moment.
I mean, I don't know. I think you do a good job. What do you?
I do okay, but you know what? Honestly,
you're a very active person, though.
I'm an active person, but
but you're not an athletic person. Neither am I.
Yeah, a reason that I would like to drop some weight is for things like this,
preserving your knee.
Well, preserving my knee, but also as a performer. To be
more agile.
Yeah.
Right. Well, our bodies are our instrument.
Our bodies ourselves.
And, as an actor, because I said this to Catherine this weekend. She's like, I didn't know that. I've never heard that. I said our.
She never heard that, really?
No, not that our bodies are our instruments, but our product is our nervous system. That's another version of.
I've never heard that before either.
So we have to be very mindful of our bodies, our mental health. We have to be constantly in a state of readiness. This is what's hard about being an actor is there's so much time when you're underemployed, unemployed, and you kind of have to stay ready to go because someone could finally decide they want you to be a part of it. They want you to come to the party.
Oh, what a great way to put it.
But the thing is but then you change too, and then you become now I'm a middle-aged actor. This is my product now, you know, or whatever. But it is true, it can be physically tiring.
Yeah.
And for sure, I've never had to do a fight scene on film before. I've even you've had a thing where Lauren Lapkus shot you dead.
Yes, when
you did that episode of Corporate,
I got shot there. What's so funny is I remember on that episode in particular. Was that before? No, that was after You're the Worst. Because on the You're the Worst, I had to do a little bit of stuff.
And you had a bunch of squibs on that one, which I've never done.
I had to
any of
take
that stuff.
falls and shit
I'm
like
so
that.
nervous if I ever get called upon to be shot with squibs.
It's great.
I think I'm gonna laugh and not be dead.
No.
I think I'd be scared.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
I don't know.
It feels like it's like a certain kind of Hollywood acting that feels like you're crossing it off a list.
Yeah.
I got to do that.
For sure.
It's really fun. It's really fun. But and part of it is when you do it and the stunt coordinator says you did a good job, it feels so validating.
Right, because
It's
you
so
guys are in
validating.
it. You're like in it together with the stunt coordinator, like because you want to make them look good.
Yeah,
so that they get hired on other things.
It's not so much that you want to make them look good; it's that you want to please them. It's like real, like, are you proud of me, Daddy?
Yeah.
Kind of vibe. And on Corporate, that episode of Corporate, there were a bunch of us that had to do. We all get shot, right?
Yep.
And so we all had different ways that we were supposed to react and fall and blah, blah, blah. And so this one guy had to wrangle all of us and give us all these instructions and this whole sequence and everything. And we were talking between scenes about how much, we're like, I want him to like me. I want him to be
Right.
proud
Like
of
you
me.
want him to be like, yeah.
But then here's what I heard today.
Okay, what?
And this was my my scene partner told me that.
Okay.
Because I said, like, I want the thing where I was saying to him, like, the thing where you want to make them
proud.
and everything. And he said, oh my God, yeah. And he said, the last time I did one of these, I said that to the stunt guy, and he said, oh, you know what the secret is? We tell everybody they did a great job, no matter what.
Wait.
Yeah.
I don't.
And I was
not
like,
every stunt person.
probably. If you're
saying it's like industry standard.
I'm saying it's industry standard for these guys who are dealing with people who are not action people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're doing the best they can with these stunts. That they tell everybody they did a great job. Because why not? And for me, it was like, I said to...
I think that sucks.
I said to... I said to this guy, I did not think I would have Santa Claus reality trauma twice in my life. But that's what this feels like.
Yeah. Also, by the way, I don't think
because up to that point, these guys were like, they were smiling like, yeah, you're getting it. Like really encouraging and everything. And I was like, I'm doing it.
Yeah. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's every single one.
Well, my mind won't let me fully believe it. Even though so on the one hand,
there's got to be one that's like, you messed up my stunt.
No.
Like they're like,
they would never say that to you. They would never say that to you.
But also, like, if you didn't get it in like 3 or 4 times, it would be obvious.
No, look,
because you would have to do so many takes of it.
Here's what it put me in mind of. Is that, because on the one hand, it's like, I'm never going to do it as well as they can do it, right?
Well, of course.
Like, they can do this shit.
This is
in
their
profession.
profession.
This is like easy peasy to do.
Yes.
What they're asking us to do is like, they do it without thinking about it. And then in my mind, I was thinking, yeah, but if you had to act, the shoe would be on the other foot. And then I realized,
for sure.
No, they're acting when they tell us that we did a good job.
They're not acting on camera, though.
But it's their one piece of acting.
No, someone's not saying rolling.
No, it's their one piece of acting that they have to be really good at.
You know what you should do next time? I know what you should do next time.
What?
You'd be like, hey, thanks for saying that. Do you mind if I film you saying that? And then you pull out your iPhone and you're like, okay, so on action. And then when they're like,
I think they could do it.
No, then they're like, you did a good job.
I think they could do it.
I don't think so.
I think they have it down.
Think so.
I think they have that down.
Really?
Yeah. But I also what I probably will do after this is wrapped is be like, when they say
good job,
great job, I'm gonna be like, really?
What if you like bruise somebody? Then they can't say good job.
No,
when you bruise
we're not.
There's no contact.
The way this is.
This is
done,
a hand-to-hand thing. It's not.
Yes, it's hand-to-hand, and
it's not weaponry or anything.
There is, but we're not. It's like it's not. It's sort of baby-proofed.
Okay.
So that we're actually not in any danger unless we really fuck up the choreography. That's the only time that we could. If we do the choreography right, we're great.
Of course.
But if anybody does the wrong thing, that's when you have the potential to get hurt. But the steps are pretty easy.
Yeah.
I actually might rehearse it a little bit over the weekend. I asked them to send me they prepared this video. This shit is so advanced now. They showed us this video first, like, here's what we're thinking, we're gonna have you do. And they put like post-production in it, so there's effects and stuff like that. It looked,
oh, so
it
that
was
you
amazing.
know, so you know what to sell.
Yeah. So
yeah,
they
yeah.
acted out all the stuff, and you know what? They were actually pretty good. Like they did some dialogue and stuff. They were not bad.
Okay. Well.
But it reminded me that reminds me of when we met Bob Odenkirk's stunt trainer that time, and I had been at his Walk of Fame thing.
I don't remember meeting the stunt trainer.
It was at the bar when we were about to leave.
I think I was busy like goofing off with Patrick Fabian.
You might have been goofing off with Patrick Fabian. This is our most name-droppy episode.
Me and Patrick Fabian kind of had a little...
You guys really hit it off?
We kind of hit it off.
So
I should text him.
I had seen this guy at the ceremony, and I was like, why does he look so familiar to me? I know. And he was looking at me, and I'm like, he doesn't know who I am.
Okay.
But I was looking at this guy like, I know I've seen this guy before. And but I had that, you know how you have that feeling of like, I know I've never met him. I just know that I've seen him somewhere before.
Like he's someone's husband or somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you're trying to piece together, okay, if we're both in
I
this
have
same
been
world.
In that same boat so many times.
If we're both in this same world, how do we connect?
Yes.
You know? And so at the end of when we were leaving, Bob said, I want to introduce you. This is my stunt trainer from Nobody. And I was like, that's what it is. Yes. Now I could see him in the movie.
Oh,
like
he
when
was
he said
in
that.
the movie.
He was in the movie. He's like one of the guys on the bus when Bob gets into the big fight on the bus.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he had the line where like Bob fucks his face up, like destroys his face, and like his teeth are missing and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's after Bob leaves, like he says to the other gang guys, "Does it look bad?" Which I think he improvised that line, which is really, really funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
But I was like, it snapped into focus. So I was like, I know exactly who you are.
That's interesting.
And he was a really cool dude. But of course, it's like you meet guys like that. It really is that sort of. That's as close as I get, I think, to the alpha male sort of thing.
Yes.
Where it's like, oh, this guy is. I'm subservient to this guy
like
because
this
he's
guy
a cool
could
dude.
Take one arm and like knock me off my gravity.
Yeah. I've never felt it in comedy. I've never felt it in any other situation. But stunt guys are always like, this guy is very cool.
Well, I'm gonna bring it back to me, which sounds yucky because it's like a weird like form of narcissism.
Honey,
but
we're having a conversation.
However, I have to ask you this.
And it's just the two of us.
That's a good point. Did you know this about me? That when I was 23 and I was getting my master's degree in acting, part of our degree was we had to become certified in stage fighting.
I knew that, but that's all I knew. So we've never talked about what your experience was doing that.
We had to learn how to do like hand to hand. We had to learn like a broadsword, which is like a heavy, like long sword.
Yes, like Lord of the Rings type shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we had to learn like short sword. I forgot, rapier, I think is what it was called. And then we also had to learn how to use the quarterstaff, which is like a long
That's
rod.
nuts.
No, the quarterstaff was the best one because you could twirl it around your body and everything.
Yeah.
And it was like all about like length, like lengthening. That was the one that I liked the best,
Right.
actually.
No, I think it's cool, but it's like
So I used
it's
to own
so
a,
funny.
But I owned a quarterstaff. Like I had like a thing. But that I would need a quarterstaff. Like you think it's funny?
No, I think it's funny that it's only ever used in like Robin Hood movies.
I think it has something.
It's such a specific thing.
No, but then we did a play where like it was like a quarterstaff and rapier fight.
Both at the same time?
Yes.
That's too much. What was that play?
Oh my God. This is funny because okay.
The Odd Couple.
It was our last year there. And it was this play called Sueño, which means dream or whatever.
You don't have to tell me, baby.
And it was the playwright's name was Jose I forget his name.
Canseco.
No, he's someone. He came like.
Oh,
he
wow.
Was like the playwright.
Living playwright.
No, he was a living playwright, and then I ran into him like in Hollywood, like a couple years after I moved here. And why can't I think of his fucking last name? He wrote like a famous play, and he was kind of like uncool.
In what way?
Like he just was like a little arrogant. Oh my God, what if he listens to this podcast? I'm just saying my interaction I don't know if that's how he is as a person.
Yeah.
I'm saying my interactions with him were a little like.
And this was a while ago. Maybe he's a different.
Oh my God!
Now.
I mean, I was also in school. I wanted to get like a picture. Like I felt like so like connected that I was doing this work for him. It was like our final thing.
Yeah.
And I remember that play because Mary Elizabeth Ellis, who is now Mary Elizabeth Ellis Day, was an underclassman.
Do you think she'll add one more name before she's done?
I don't know. I love Mary Elizabeth, but she was my dresser on that play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the movie The Dresser?
I did like years. Was it Albert Finney?
Yeah, Albert Finney and Tom Courtenay.
Yes.
I'd like to see that again. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Ooh, they should do like a lady version. Don't steal
yeah.
that. Don't steal that idea from me, y'all.
The TMRC. There's that moment where
I don't remember it.
It's about
like kind of class.
A theater actor.
Yeah, isn't it?
And he's doing King Lear, and he's kind of like on the decline, this guy.
Right.
Right. And Tom Courtenay it's Albert Finney, and Tom Courtenay is his longtime dresser.
And isn't he sort of sycophantic to Albert Finney, and Albert Finney?
Well, yeah, they have
Wait,
that.
I thought Albert Finney was an alcoholic in it. He's not.
I think he's kind of losing it a little bit. He might be an alcoholic, but I don't remember. But because here's what I remember.
Okay, tell me what
you
remember.
It's supposed to be King Lear.
Okay.
And so they're in the dressing room, and Albert Finney's going to do his makeup, and Tom Courtenay's getting everything ready, and he turns around, and Albert Finney is in blackface, and he looks at him with this big smile and like holds out his hands like, huh? And Tom Courtenay says, no, not Othello. he's getting ready for the wrong play. Yeah.
And it was the times when white actors played like when Lawrence, because remember Sir Lawrence Olivier played
Lord Laurence Olivier. He made it to Lord before he died.
Lord
Larry. I remember two things about Laurence Olivier. I remember hearing that he was doing like Henry V, maybe Richard III. I can't remember, one of those Shakespeare King plays.
They're very different, by the way.
I know, but he cut his hair in the back, like he shaved it to a V. Because it helped with the sweat. So like the sweat would roll down
his spine as opposed to his like
his hair wouldn't get like sopping wet. Like,
interesting.
And then the other thing was late in life, like after he was I think maybe after he was a lord, he got stage fright.
Oh,
and it lasted for years.
You know what? That happens a lot. That's not an uncommon thing.
I heard it came up when I was in Chicago last weekend because it happened to a very famous hip hop artist, and I can't remember who it was, but my musical director Jordan and Open Mike Eagle, who was the musical guest, were talking about it. That this guy had been. He's already a legend, like famous for years.
Yeah,
and
they
then
like played huge arenas.
Couldn't go on stage for a while, like for a period of years.
That's like I have a friend who's a very good actress, and she struggled with stage fright, and it was like it has like nothing to do with anything.
It's such a wild thing.
It can just cripple you.
Yeah.
It's like a psychological.
Of course, absolutely.
It's like a psychological thing.
Yeah.
Okay, like.
Did that happen to Daniel Day-Lewis too? He had a weird thing where he was doing Hamlet and he like saw his dead father on stage or something.
Oh, come on. Give me a fucking break.
He's a bit much.
Let me just say, okay, well, this is
Dial it down a bit, darling.
This is like...
Isn't there enough drama in the work, dear?
But let's save the drama for your mama.
My old scene partner. Of course I'm kidding around.
Of course, from
There Will Be Blood,
There Will Be Blood,
of
the
course.
opening
I
of There Will
played
Be
Mr.
Blood.
Prescott.
Very...
D-Day, I love you.
Here's the thing.
Where are my shoes? It's been months.
I mean, does he have like a little Zappos tab or whatever? Okay, so basically, like
what if he turned up in the brands?
I will say this. DDL. Hey, so Carlos Santana has a shoe brand.
Oh, he sells hats? Like
no,
Carlos
I used
Santana?
to have a pair of boots. Okay. Anyway,
wait. You had Carlos Santana boots?
I feel like I faved a pair. Like I never pulled the trigger, but I want it. Okay. So I want to talk about Succession, but I'm not going to spoil it, just so you know, because I watch Succession as it rolls out, so I'm all caught up.
Yes.
However, this is more, I'm talking about like the cast of Succession and method acting in general because we started talking about it. So I just want to let people know I'm not gonna spoil it.
Yeah.
So I guess there was like this sort of viral article last year with Jeremy Strong. I think it was in the New Yorker. Jeremy Strong plays the character of Kendall on Succession. And it was kind of an explosively viral article because, and if I'm remembering it, I'm sure I'm like messing it up in some way, but like essentially he self-identifies as a method actor. And there was like a detail in the article where, I'm sorry. I don't know if we talked about this before on the podcast or not. But,
I don't know. I don't remember.
Because like, basically like there is a scene early in Succession.
Did that article come out during quarantine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's such a wash.
Yes.
Of time.
So basically like, I guess he had to do a scene where he was submerged in a body of water and they were like, we can warm the water for you. And he was like, oh no, I want it to be like as cold as it would be or whatever. That's just like one example. That was like one example in the article that a lot of people like grabbed onto or whatever. And it made it sound like he kind of was a pain in the ass to his fellow castmates who I'm sure they're all like friendly with each other. I mean, they have to work together. But some people have different approaches to the craft of acting than he does. And, you know, like, so maybe he doesn't extend any like outward gregariousness to workers underneath him at Crafty because he's, you know, playing this billionaire out of I don't know what it is.
Stay in it.
I don't know. Like I'm just sort of like imagining you could project a lot. You could project a lot onto it at the time.
Here's what's very funny.
And I don't know if the journalist took license or whatever. Okay, keep going.
I never even considered what it was like for all those other interactions because so much of that article was focused on they only talked to the other co-stars.
The equal stars.
Yeah. But it's like, how does he treat, you know, to say nothing of the people behind the camera.
There's makeup people.
Exactly.
There's lighting.
There's so many other
gaffers.
people.
There's key grips. There's the
that
guy
far outnumber the
guy
actors.
or the lady who mics you. I say lady because I'm actually friends with the.
But Crafty is such a good example.
A boom operator who's a lady. But like I'm just like or Crafty like is he like. Does he go to Crafty and he's like, give me some granola.
I can't eat this. I can't eat this. I can't eat this. Here's how I feel.
When I go to Crafty, I'm always like, do you have any Sour Patch Kids? All right.
That's your number one request.
I just like want the gummy candy and even if it's like those fruit, like the fruit juice ones. Like I'm just like I just need like some gummy candy and definitely like a pack of gum. Like please don't give me like one.
Yeah.
Like I want a pack because I want to put it in my bag. I want it. Okay,
that's
right. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I'm trying to remember now.
I can't eat this. I can't eat this.
I remember the thing that people were saying at the time.
Sorry.
I remember the thing that people were saying at the time was.
People got mad.
People got mad, but then a lot of people were like, hey, whatever gets him there to give that performance, then that's all that matters, you know? And it's like, my feeling about that is, though, you're taking him at his word that he needs to do this stuff. Whereas
he's convinced himself that he needs
people,
to. He can.
But the people who have a problem with it are saying, It's all bullshit. It's all pretension, and that you don't really need to do this stuff, but it's a big show, So the idea that this is what he needs in order to deliver that performance, it's like, well, you're just saying that. We don't know that that's a fact. We know that this is what he does.
But this is like,
we don't know that this is what he needs to do.
Well,
and that's an important distinction.
He thinks it's what he needs to do.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Oh, you're saying he could be like, this could be like a
We're
little
saying
bit of
he likes doing it. He likes putting on the show of being an actor. Me saying that is just as valid as anyone saying he needs to do it.
Here's the thing. This is why, because when you start talking about the dresser, I was like thinking about all this stuff. But because also it's the final season of Succession. I read an interview with Brian Cox, and there are all these little like interviews after the episodes, and they kind of ask about everybody's process. And it's very much, in my personal opinion, like a bit of a wink reference to that viral article about Jeremy Strong, to see how other people feel about it. They want to know how other people feel about it. And
wait, what's a wink reference?
Whenever any interviewers ask the other cast members of Succession in this current final season about
you
their
mean
process,
those things at the end?
Oh, 100%. I thought that was a wink reference.
Tell me what it was, because I don't remember.
Well, I don't want to
because those things to me are always like, in this scene, Shiv is very upset because this happened. And then they cut to her and she's like, yeah, so I had to be upset.
There was like a big pivotal episode that I don't want to spoil because some people are watching on a different schedule that just came out. And if you're just now catching up to it, it's the 3rd episode of this final season. And they interview the cast afterwards and ask what, like, kind of specifically how they dealt with the emotion of a certain scene. And then they all answered what about their process, and they kind of, it sounded to me like they were talking about their process in relation to not being like method actors. Like that was part of
that.
Oh my God. And I mentioned it to Samantha. This is why I brought this up, because I was talking about this with Samantha, my friend, who I went to drama school with. She was my roommate.
It's Samantha from Sex and the City.
She also writes.
She's a real person.
TV. She's a big shot TV writer, and she writes on stuff. But anyway, so we were talking specifically about all of this. Yeah. Because we were talking about our own like actor training and how we have talked in the past, because she worked on a project with Brie Larson, and Brie Larson said something about how method acting is such a white male privilege thing. Yeah. And because like if women acted that way on set, or a person of color, or a person of color, it's just like
when you hear about Meryl Streep preparing for a thing, she does all that before she gets to set. And she gets to set and she's ready to go.
Well, she's actually...
There's nothing that's
she's
holding up production.
A method. I mean,
no. But she does. There's nothing that she does that like holds up production, adds time to other people's day.
No, she's also like a notorious like technical actor versus like emotional.
I'm living it.
Yeah. So, like we were just talking like how like in our particular acting classes and stuff, like the crowd, like, and Brian Cox mentions this in an interview, and I've heard like of other actors who are like so amazing that, oh my God, it's a double cuckoo night.
Double cuckoo, we love you. What do you want to say to everybody listening?
Are you a method actor, Cuckoo? Cuckoo is a method actor because Cuckoo lives cuckoo. You know what I'm saying?
Cuckoo. Cuckoo lives inside a clock.
Lives it.
Yeah.
Lives it.
Yeah. Cuckoo delivers.
Cuckoo delivers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, and Brian Cox talks about how in this article, which really resonated with me, that like British actors in general, obviously Daniel Day-Lewis is not one, but British actors in general, like their whole mindset is different than American, because in America we have this whole like isolationist bullshit where it's like, you take care of like your own, like, you know what I'm saying? Like to the detriment of others. Like
it's every man for himself. Yes. America is every man for himself.
But like in England, it's more like keep calm and carry on. Let's ration together. Let's get through this war together. Like
they have a different tradition of theater that is
Yes.
older and is much more
culturally
oriented.
ingrained to the
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. But it's also the training where
The training,
the
yes.
training is all about you're not a superstar.
No, you're a
This
piece
is,
of the your cog.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But like we always like would like, and Samantha reminded me, like she was always like, I remember in our classes when Cecil would tell us, like the skill is being able to.
This was Cecil the dinosaur.
He was our acting teacher, but the skill was like being able to turn it on and off.
Yeah.
The skill is in turning it on and off.
Yeah.
No, no one wants to sit around while you're like working up to like thinking about your dead dog or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's not like and that's not going to be reliable either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The thing you want to learn is to be able to tap into that at a moment's notice, as opposed to, I'm going to need a minute alone in a room, you have to give me 25 minutes so I can sit here by myself.
I mean, I get both sides. I feel like I understand, like, if something is emotionally charged, like, you do sometimes need some space for it. But
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I don't know. Like,
that's the least egregious thing. What I'm talking about is things like, I can't believe we're talking about this article.
No, I like it.
I like it too, but
like
it's
this
like the article came out such a long time because the things I remember.
It's about a bigger. It's about a bigger issue.
But the things I remember are, like, sometimes if he had to be drunk in a scene, he'd be a little drunk, and
well, now that I'm on board with.
No, come on.
Kidding.
I feel like.
Oh my god, I was kidding.
Okay. But I do feel like that kind of shit is so Bush League. It's so Bush League to do that, where it's like. It's the challenge. The challenge to me is the acting part of it.
Of course.
It's like, okay, I'm supposed to be drunk. How do I replicate that? How do I believably replicate that? Drew Tarver, who's a friend of mine, we worked together on Bajillion Dollar Properties, had a scene in The Other Two, which is a really funny show on HBO. Its third season is happening soon, I think. I think it's already shot. But there was an episode where they did a parody of the end of Call Me By Your Name, where he had to look into a fire and he had to cry. And Drew is a very good actor, but it's not something that he's called upon to do that often.
Because he's so comedic.
Yeah. So he did have to, because the comedy was, he had to do it for real. Like, it had to be exactly like that scene. So he had to be crying real tears. He had to be obviously emotionally wrecked. That's what made it funny.
Which, by the way, I feel like what Drew's called upon to do is so, like, in comedy, it's so much harder sometimes.
Yeah.
To do comedy and satire than it is to do. Not that drama is not challenging.
A lot
it
of
really
times,
is.
A lot of times it is, but he has to, especially on that show, he has to thread of a certain needle, and I think he does it so well because it is a really funny show. But he has to be.
It has an emotional.
There's an emotional center
to it, yeah.
Especially to his character.
Yes.
That I think he does such tremendous.
He does
work
a great job on that show. I love
but,
that show.
He did have to work himself up with that, but it was not. He wasn't precious about it. You know what I mean? It didn't it was a thing that was agreed upon. Like, I'm going to need some time to do this, whatever.
But that's the thing. It should be a consensual thing.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Like, if I had to do some of the stuff they have to do in succession, which they do have to go, like, to some really emotional
hard, man.
places on that show.
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like in the meeting, in the meeting or the set meetings or whatever, like, I might say, like, hey, everyone, like, today's, like, a big day for me, or I might get the director to convey, like, today's a big day for me, like, emotionally, I might be in energy conservation mode, and I would love it if everyone could kind of, like, just be aware if I seem spaced out, like,
for sure,
I'm working on something.
For sure,
I'm working on something, but I love everyone here, and blah blah blah.
Especially
blah.
if you're doing emotional scenes, and like if it's a long scene, which sometimes they do, where it's like long takes, where you have to go on this roller coaster.
But also the director is going to set the tone
Absolutely,
for that. Like the director's going to be like, "Hey everyone, we're going to do this thing where we're not interrupting for however long, and there might be some really high emotional highs and lows. Like we need everyone kind of like their heart in this moment, in this space. Like you just need someone that's a leader on the set, or you need some kind
That's
of
the director's.
You also need like communication as an actor. Like if I'm number 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever on the call sheet, I'm gonna say like, this isn't you, this is me. Like I'm freaked out about whatever.
Well, here's what ultimately I feel like I could have done just as good a job of acting cold as Jeremy Strong did in that scene.
The thing about the acting cold thing, like that was so crazy to me.
This is a guy who never alters his facial expression.
I disagree.
Do you know what I mean?
I think he's a really strong.
I don't think he's a bad actor, but it's like
no, I like his acting.
he's playing the character that he is playing
is a sociopath.
That's not what I was going to say,
Oh.
but just that it's not like you're seeing a wide range of things. You know what I mean? You're
That's
not
a good
seeing
point.
things play out on his face. You're not seeing, it feels very samey to me as a viewer to justify that kind of behavior. And I call it
it is kind of like funny to say that in a way, because his particular character, like the characters on Succession, have a very limited range of emotion.
Yeah, they're not good people.
By design.
Yes, they're not good people.
By design.
They're written as...
It's a very tricky role to play, though, because they are playing people... This is the way I look at the show, and maybe I'm wrong, but like they do seem like empathic actors who are trying to find any drip or drop of empathy in characters that lack empathy.
Yes.
And that's a good tension.
Yeah.
That's a great tension.
Yeah.
That's something interesting. And yeah.
And I will say, for an actor, it's very challenging because your relationship to the character that you're playing, if you're playing, like all of these people are despicable, right?
Yeah.
They're all despicable. There's nobody that...
But you can't go into the job saying that.
No.
Because you have to be like, I love Siobhan. I
Because
love
then,
Roman.
well, you
As
have
the
to
actor,
you have to get to some place like that, or something close to
or
that.
I understand Roman. I understand.
You have to find the relatable things. Yes.
Right.
But because otherwise it becomes really cartoony and it's not as much fun to watch if it's not grounded.
I 100% agree.
But I just feel like I just hate that shit. I just hate that. Is what it comes down to. I just hate that shit.
What, the method stuff?
Yeah.
Is what you're talking about.
And it's not truly method acting. It's sort of, like stretching to the limits what the idea of method acting is.
Well, also what I think is funny about it is I keep saying this because our neighbor Julie loves Succession too, and we talk about it all the time. And we both were like, why'd you have to be in the cold water? Like we did. We all were like, you could have had the warm water. You know what I mean? And,
how about lukewarm water?
I was like, also like, if you get a cold, that fucks everyone up. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, it's so funny to me because I feel like 3 years after Succession's finale, he's going to be doing comedy. And everyone's going to be like, I didn't know he could be funny. Or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think so.
You don't?
I don't think so.
That's what Julie said.
Yeah.
That's what Julie said. But I was like, I just feel like he's like, there's a chance where someone was like, I'm a different artist now. Like I've reinvented myself. Like I've decided not to be that kind of artist anymore. Like I want to be hired for something different. Like I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like any one of us could be like, I want to be the other kind of artist. Like I want to be the kind of artist I want to be Christian Bale and starve myself.
I don't think so.
I love Christian Bale, by the way, so I can't.
Well, he definitely wants to be one of those guys. You know what I mean?
But also like Christian.
Or does he? I don't know.
But he's part of an ensemble, which is different in a way because Christian Bale, a lot of times, like those guys, they are like leading men. They're not always like part of an ensemble necessarily.
Yeah.
And I feel like where Succession sort of thrives is on the team, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
I don't know. Like
Jeremy Strong will be doing a multi-camera sitcom.
I'm just saying, like, I
time.
wouldn't be surprised because, like, if you want to prove yourself as an actor, you've got to do like every single thing.
Meet the parents. Can you milk me, Greg? All right.
What?
Robert De Niro, dear. Bobby De Niro.
Oh wait, was he funny in that?
Well, it's a comedy.
He can be kind of funny, right?
Yeah, he's fine. All right, we got to wrap it up. Do you have any recommendations?
Succession, I guess.
There you go.
And I don't know. I read Sarah Pauli's book. I quite enjoyed.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
called Run Towards the Danger.
Yeah.
And then I watched her documentary because I never saw it, but she did kind of spoil a big thing in it in the book. But
which came first, the documentary or the book?
The documentary came first.
I had
not seen it.
I'm reading a book that I'm very much enjoying, and I have to look up the title because I forgot. Because somebody recommended it to me. I started reading it right away, but now I can't remember the.
Wait, you're reading a book? Oh, and you can't remember the title.
I can't remember the title because I just started
reading it. That happens to me all the time. What about podcasts?
Okay, let me see. Hold on a second. Let me get to this thing.
I'm not really into anything right now.
I don't know if I'm listening to any new Oh, you know what?
Except
I
for
will
Succession.
say I'm on a new podcast called No Autographs, Please, which is Brian Safi and Arden Marine. And what they do is they chat about people who have no autographs energy.
What is
which
that?
is like
like
people that sort of think,
Jeremy's
No. People that you would never ask them for an autograph, but they have that air about them, like regular people. I nominated the flight attendant Steven Slater, who quit JetBlue by sliding down the emergency slide.
Why would he not have an autograph energy? I don't get it.
He has no autographs. Like I'm not doing autographs. No autographs, please.
Oh, because he's sort of like, I don't do anything I don't feel like doing, like that kind of thing.
Because he's like a cool dude. He thinks he's a cool dude.
I did think that was I did think that was cool. He was cool.
Yeah.
Right.
See?
I mean, he gave us that story. That was a gift.
Yes.
I know it was not a gift to the people on the flight at the time, but it was a gift to society.
Right.
After the fact.
Yes, it was. A gift to us all.
Okay.
This book is called, it's by Emily St. John Mandel, who wrote Station 11.
Oh, right.
And it's called The Glass Hotel.
Oh,
and
right.
I just started reading it. I'm very much enjoying it.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm going to recommend it just a few chapters in.
I would like to recommend subscribing to our Weekend Water Substack because if you subscribe, all you have to do is go to our Weekend Water Substack.
Go there.
It's like substack.com, search for Weekend, whatever. And I'll put the link in the show notes, I guess. You never miss anything that Paul and I are up to. Paul just did a show in Chicago. He posted the poster, posted that he was selling merch there. People commented.
People love that poster by
the poster
great
sold
Nathan
out.
Diffie. People love that poster.
It's sold out.
It sold out. It sold out the first time we had to order more.
Order more.
Yeah.
So basically what happens over on Substack, if you're not there yet, it is a community. And we can all talk about, we'll post our podcast episode there and the comments will be open.
Yes.
Right before this episode, we initiated a chat where we said we're about to record. That's when I said, someone said, say hi to Cuckoo. So
and we did. So
you can
it gets results.
Go over there and engage with us.
And with one another.
And that's the big thing, with one another, because now they launched this section called Notes, which is a brand new section where you can post things. And it's like, it's not like Twitter because there are no ads or no algorithms, but it has that feed vibe. And you also, this is what I like about it, you discover other great content creators and writers and stuff because people recommend things and everything. So it's been kind of fun over there. It's free to sign up. You just have to enter an email address. You can, of course, opt into our premium content. We released a watch along to the movie Megan.
That's right.
Just a couple weeks ago. That is on our Substack, and we hope that you will enjoy it.
Yeah, man.
If you'd like to subscribe or just partake of the free stuff, there's no judgment whatsoever. We just would like to have everyone over there so that we can engage in conversation.
Absolutely. One final thing.
Yes, dear.
Sunday, May 14th.
Oh.
Lodge Room in Highland Park, Varietopia. It is Mother's Day. We're doing a show
It's
anyway.
a special Mother's Day.
Special Mother's Day
Varietopia.
edition. And then
that's in Los Angeles, everyone.
That's in Los Angeles. And then
all of Paul's live stuff is linked on our Substack as well.
Yes.
So.
But then listen to this. June, I'm going to my hometown of Philadelphia and doing Varietopia there for the very first time. I'm extremely excited about
That's going to be fantastic.
That is June 16th and 17th, Friday and Saturday. The first shows sold out, so we've added, instead of late shows, we added early shows.
Nice.
I think those shows are at 6 p.m.
I love that.
So it's like, come see the show and then
go to dinner.
Go to dinner, whatever.
Get a sandwich.
But I'm
What's
really
the venue?
looking
Do you
forward
remember
to
the name?
Underground Arts.
Okay.
On Callow Hill. So go to paulftompkins.com/live.
And there's some more live shows spread out throughout the year.
Yes, go see all that stuff.
So if you want to learn any of that stuff, go to our Weekend Water Substack.
Yes.
Check out that tab.
Yeah.
And what else?
That's it.
That's it. And we'll probably be dropping some bonus stuff on the Substack between now and the next episode.
Yeah, we'll do some more watch-alongs, etc. We'll figure out some other stuff to do.
Might have a bonus up. I don't know.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. But we are loving life.
Yeah, we're loving life, gang. All right, we'll see you next time. And until then, stay safe, stay strong, sane.
Oh, start over.
Until then, stay safe, stay sane, and stay strong.